8/80th rule, work package time bounds. 8/80th rule, work package time bounds, 8 to 80 labor hours. Mbok Guide, defines project management practices. Abusive manner, harmful, fear-inducing treatment. Acceptance, small risk response strategy. Acceptance test-driven development, customer-focused pre-code testing. Acknowledgement, confirms message receipt only. Active listening, receiver clarifies, confirms message. Active observation, PM observes, interacts directly. Active problem solving, root cause focused problem resolution. Activity list, WBS work package breakdown. Activity network diagram, shows project workflow. Actual cost, AC money spent so far. Adaptive life cycle, iterative, change-driven project approach. Adjourning, team disbands after project. Affinity diagram, group similar ideas/components. Affinity estimating, relational user story sizing. Agile charter, authorizes adaptive, change welcoming project. Agile manifesto, values human interaction, adaptability. Agile project management, iterative, change-driven work approach. Agile risk, affects project's value negatively. Alternative analysis, multiple solutions considered. Alternative dispute resolution, contract issue resolved informally. Alternatives generation, customer-focused scope definition. Ambiguity risks, unclear, unpredictable risks. Analogous estimating, uses historical data, expert judgment. Application areas, project's expertise or industry. Assumptions log, tracks unproven project beliefs. Atwood's duck, intentional, removable design feature. Autocratic, one person decides everything. Avoidance, risk completely averted. Avoiding power, PM refrains from decision making. Balanced matrix structure, shared power among managers. Behavior-driven development, why-based acceptance testing. Benchmarking, compares similar entity performance. Benefit/cost ratio, compares benefits to costs. Bicycle shedding, overfocus on trivialities. Bid, vendor's price-based proposal. Bidder conference, clarifies contract for vendors. Bottom-up estimating, detailed, reliable cost prediction. Brainwriting, written, shared brainstorming. Brainnetting, web-based collaborative brainstorming. Brainstorming, open, judge-free idea generation. Budget estimate, early, broad cost guess. Burn-down chart, tracks work against backlog. Burn-up chart, shows completed vs remaining work. Business risks, may have varied outcomes. Business value, quantifiable ROI, tangible/intangible. Cardinal scales, numerical ranking for risk/impact. Cause and effect diagrams, visualize process variable relationships. Caves and commons, personal vs. shared workspace. Change control board, evaluates proposed project changes. Change control system, manages project change requests. Change log, records project changes. Change management plan, guidelines for change requests. Charismatic leadership, motivating, inspirational leader. Checklist, ordered list for tasks. Choice of media, optimal communication form. Claims, buyer-seller disagreements. Closure processes, ends project formally. Code of accounts, WBS numbering system. Coding standards, code creation rules. Collaborate/problem solving, conflict resolution method. Collective bargaining constraints, union-related project limits. Collective code ownership, shared coding responsibility. Commercial database, software-driven cost estimating. Commitment point, Kanban task acceptance. Communication assumptions, unproven communication beliefs. Communication barrier, blocks effective communication. Communication channels formula, stakeholder connection calculation. Communication constraints, limits in communication. Communications management plan, communication strategy. Competency, required skills, talents. Compromising, both sides lose. Configuration identification, product labeling. Configuration management plan, change control plan. Configuration management system, regulates product changes. Configuration status accounting, product documentation organization. Configuration verification and auditing, deliverable alignment check. Conflict of interest, dueling loyalties. Context diagram, element interaction map. Contingency reserve, extra cost allowance. Contract, buyer-seller agreement. Contract change control, contract modification rules. Contract closure, finalizes contract. Contract SO, work description. Control account, WBS performance tracking. Control chart, process stability graph. Control quality, quality inspection process. Control threshold, acceptable variance range. Cost aggregation, summing WBS costs. Cost baseline, scheduled cost graph. Cost budgeting, WBS cost allocation. Cost change control, manages cost changes. Cost management plan, cost strategy. Cost of conformance, meeting quality costs. Cost of non-conformance, quality failure costs. Cost of poor quality, rework, defect costs. Cost of quality, quality-related expenses. Cost performance index, financial efficiency. Cost plus award, costs plus bonus. Cost plus fixed, costs plus fee. Cost plus incentive, costs plus achievement bonus. Cost plus percentage, costs plus extra. Cost variance, budget vs. actual. Cost benefit analysis, compares cost, value. Crashing, faster via more resources. Critical path, no delay task sequence. Cross-functional teams, multi-skill team members. Crystal, agile risk-based approaches. Crystal clear, small team agile. Crystal orange, mid-size team agile. Crystal red, large team agile. Crystal yellow, small mid-team agile. Cultural/social environment, project's societal impact. Cultural norms, organizational culture. Cumulative flow diagram, task status chart. Cycle time, feature work duration. Daily Scrum, 15-minute daily team progress meeting. Daily Scrum duration, should last up to 15 minutes. Data precision, assessment of data's accuracy and reliability. Decision tree, model evaluating costs and benefits of decisions. Decoder, device decoding received messages, like a fax. Defect cycle time, time between defect discovery and resolution. Defect rate, number of defects reaching the customer. Definition of done, DOD criteria to consider a task complete. Definitive estimate, accurate estimate used in late planning. Deliverable, product, service, or result of a project. Delivery point, final Kanban board column for completion. Delphi technique, anonymous expert consensus on project risks. Design of experiments, statistical analysis for best project outcomes. Development team, Scrum team responsible for sprint deliverables. Direct costs, project-specific, non-shareable costs. Discretionary dependencies, preferred, optional activity order in projects. Dreyfus model, 5 stages of skill acquisition. Duty of loyalty, PM's obligation to employer's best interests. Dynamic systems development method, DSDM agile method refined from RAD. Earned value management, EVM measures project performance against plans. Earned value, EV budgeted cost of completed work. Effort-driven scheduling, scheduling based on work effort estimates. Early finish/start, time frames for project activities. Earned value, completed works authorized budget percentage. Effective listening, active, attentive experience in communication. Emergent leadership, leadership arising within agile team. Encoder, device for encoding messages. Enhancing, increases positive risk event likelihood. Enterprise factors, internal, external conditions affecting project. Escalating, risk response beyond manager's authority. Estimates, EAC/etc. predict total and remaining costs. EMV, quantifies risk with monetary value. Expert power, leadership from specialized skills/experience. Explicit knowledge, easily communicated information. Exploit, takes advantage of positive risks. Exploratory testing, unscripted, time-limited software testing. External dependencies, uncontrolled project factors. External QA, outside project quality assurance. External risks, risks beyond project control. Extreme programming, agile with specific methods. Fast tracking, overlapping activities to save time. FDD roles, architect, programmer, manager, domain expert. Feedback, confirms message received and understood. Fibonacci sequence, agile user story size estimator. Finish types, activity relationship conditions. Fishbowl windows, virtual team video conferencing. Conflict levels, problem solving to World War. 5 Whys, root cause analysis technique. Fixed costs, constant project costs. Contract types, fixed price variance. Flowchart, diagram system relationships. Focus groups, moderated stakeholder input. Follow the sun, workday-based multi-time zone collaboration. Force majeure, uncontrollable, disastrous risks. Forming, team's initial stage. Fragnet, sub-project network diagram. Free float, activity delay without affecting successors. Functional analysis, studies product/system functions. Functional structure, hierarchical, functional organization. Funding limit, budget-related project constraints. Future value, calculates money's future worth. Management skills, oversee accounting, sales, HR, IT. Governance framework, rules and policies for organizational alignment. Green/red zones, team's positive/negative behavioral attributes. Guild-based power, use guild for project compliance. Halo effect, unrelated traits influence overall judgment. Hard logic, mandatory, sequential activities. Herzberg's theory, factors affecting career motivation. Hierarchical chart, shows superior-subordinate relationships. Hybrid life cycle, mix of predictive, adaptive methods. Hybrid projects, combines predictive, agile strategies. Hybrid structure, mixes functional, matrix, project-oriented setups. Increment, completed, functional product portion. Incremental life cycle, repeated cycles for product increments. Independent estimates, external should cost predictions. Indirect costs, overhead expenses for multiple projects. Industrial work, physical labor, visible results. Influence diagram, charts decision problem elements. Influence/impact grid, maps stakeholder influence on project. Information tools, software for project health display. Information radiator, centralized, visual project data. Information retrieval, quick, effective data access. Informational power, control over data distribution. Ingratiating power, gain favor through flattery. Integrated change control, manages impact of changes. Interactional leadership, mix of leader styles. Interactive communication, active info exchange. Internal dependencies, in project relationships. Internal QA, quality assurance for team, management. International environment, considers global project factors. Interpersonal skills, skills to lead, manage people. Interviews, one-on-one requirement gathering. Inverted iron triangle, Agile's fixed cost/schedule. Invest, criteria for effective user stories. IFB, buyer requests seller's price. Iron triangle, time, cost, scope constraints. I/T-shaped people, specialist/generalist skill sets. Ishikawa diagrams, cause and effect risk charts. ISO, sets international standards. Issue, occurred project risk. Issue log, record of project issues. Iteration, time-boxed work period. Iterative life cycle, repeated work cycles. Kaizen, small, continuous improvements. Kanban, visual work item tracking. Kanban method, visualizes and manages workflow. Key stakeholder, decision-making authority. Knowledge work, intellectual work, hard to see. Known unknown, predictable, uncertain events. Lag time, delays between activities. Lagging metrics, past-based measurements. Laissez-faire leadership, hands-off approach. Late finish, latest activity finish time. Late start, latest activity start time. Law of triviality, time inversely proportional to cost. Lead time, activity overlap or feature duration. Leadership, aligning, inspiring the team. Leading metrics, future-oriented measurements. Leading stakeholder, actively supportive. Lean, reduce waste, boost productivity. Lean product, agile, resource-efficient approach. Learning curve, cost decreases with experience. Lessons learned, project success/failure documentation. Letter contract, temporary, immediate work contract. Letter of intent, pre-contractual statement. Low priority risk, list for periodic monitoring. Low tech/high touch, simple, user-friendly solutions. Majority, over 50% group agreement needed. Make or buy decision, evaluate cost, benefits for in-house vs. purchase. Management, exercise authority, control without challenging status quo. Management reserve, buffer time for project delays. Mandatory dependencies, natural activity sequence, example foundation before house. Maslow's hierarchy, 5 human needs, physiological to self-actualization. Mathematical model, uses algorithms to predict project success. Matrix diagram, table showing variable strengths, relationships. McClelland's needs theory, achievement, affiliation, or power drive people. McGregor's theory X and Y, management's perception of employee competence. Media selection, choose appropriate media for message. Medium, device transporting message. Meeting management, efficiently lead and control meetings. Milestone, key project events marking progress. Milestone list, document of project milestones, attributes. Mind mapping, visualizing idea relationships. Mitigation, reduce probability or impact of risk. Monte Carlo analysis, simulates project outcomes based on variables. Multi-criteria decision analysis, rates potential team members. Multi-divisional structure, manager has low authority, functional control. Murder board, committee vetting project viability. Negative stakeholder, opposes project. Net present value, monetizes project returns over time. Neutral stakeholder, unconcerned about project outcome. Noise, communication interference. Nominal group technique, idea generation followed by voting. Nonverbal communication, communication through gestures, facial expressions. Norming, team collaboration stage. Oligopoly, few vendors dominate market. Opportunity cost, cost of missed opportunity. Ordinal scales, risk ranking system. Organic structure, loosely organized, little managerial control. Organization chart, visual of organizational structure. Organizational knowledge repositories, internal databases for planning. Organizational process assets, internal rules, databases. Organizational risks, risks due to internal policies. Organizational system, structure affecting project management. Osmotic communication, communication by proximity. Aoki's theory Z, Japanese-style employee motivation. Paralingual communication, voice pitch, tone, inflection effect message. Parallel development, teams develop code simultaneously, risks in agile. Parametric estimate, mathematical formula predicts duration or cost. Pareto diagram, ranks categories of project failure visually. Parkinson's law, work expense to fill available time. Passive observation, unobtrusive monitoring of worker by project manager. Payback period, time for project to recoup investment. Performance report, shows project's earned value, cost, schedule variances. Performing, team stage where trust, efficiency are high. Personal power, manager's likability influences team. PESEL, evaluates risks in 6 domains. Physical environment, surroundings affecting project work. Planned value, scheduled work and authorized budget. Planning game, XP approach for unemotional decision making. Planning package, WBS entry needing further planning. Planning poker, consensus-driven story sizing method in Agile. Plurality, largest voter block decides, not majority. PMI member, Joint Project Management Institute, certification optional. PMI talent triangle, areas for PDUs to maintain certification. Positional power, manager's authority stems from role. Positive stakeholder status, stakeholder favors project change. Potentially shippable product, done work that could be released. Practitioner, serves in project management capacity. Precedence diagramming, shows activity nodes, relationships in network. Predictive project management, traditional, plan-driven approach, resists change. Present value, current worth of future money. Presentation, oral, visual, body language influences message. Pressure-based power, manager restricts choices to motivate team. Privity, confidentiality in buyer-seller relationship. Probability and impact matrix, ranks risk probability and impact. Process groups, 5 related collections of project processes. Procurement management plan, document for procurement decisions. Procurement planning, identifies project parts needing vendor. Product acceptance criteria, defines conditions for product approval. Product backlog, prioritized agile requirements list. Product breakdown, hierarchical decomposition of product. Product owner, manages, prioritizes backlog in Scrum. Product roadmap, outlines intermittent project deliverables. Product scope, features, functions of project deliverables. Product scope description, narrative of project's deliverable. Product vision, end goal in terms of functionality, value. Professional development units, credits to maintain PMP certification. Profile analysis meeting, examines, documents project roles. Program, collection of related projects. Progressive elaboration, gathering project details iteratively. Project, temporary endeavor for unique output. Project assumptions, unproven but accepted planning factors. Project benefits management plan, outlines project's expected benefits. Project boundary, defines what's included, excluded in project. Project business case, financial justification for project. Project calendars, work schedule for project. Project charter, document authorizing project. Project constraint, limiting factors for project manager. Project cycle time, time to complete whole project. Project environment, surrounding conditions affecting project. Project float, time project can be delayed without issue. Project life cycle, phases making up project. Project Management Institute, global organization for project professionals. Project Management Office, central office overseeing projects. Project Management Plan, comprehensive guide for predictive projects. Project Management Professional, certified project management expert. Project Management Risks, risks related to poor management. Project Manager, leads team, manages resources. Project Network Diagram, visualizes project activity flow. Project Objectives, measurable goals for project success. Project Portfolio Management, balances project selection and priority. Project Presentations, communication to stakeholders. Project Records, all project-related communications. Project Reports, formal updates on project status. Project Requirements, customer or regulatory demands for deliverables. Project Scope, all work to meet objectives. Project Scope Management Plan, guide for controlling scope. Project Variance, final variance discovered at project's end. Project-oriented structure, team dedicated to one project. Proposal, seller's document to buyer, includes fees, skills. Pull communication, information accessed by stakeholders. Punitive power, manager's ability to punish team. Purchase order, buyer's approved vendor contract. Pure risks, only negative outcomes possible. Push communication, information sent without acknowledgement. Role, person's specific duties in a project. Rolling wave planning, detailed near-term, high-level future planning. Root cause identification, finding reasons behind risk events. Rough order of magnitude, initial broad range estimate. Round robin, circular idea sharing for equal input. Rule of 7, 7 similar measurements signal control loss. Rules of the project, Agile Charter outlines team behavior. Run chart, displays inspection results over time. Scatter diagram, tracks relation between two variables. Schedule baseline, planned project start and finish dates. Schedule management plan, how to create and manage schedule. Schedule milestones, customer-defined project phase deadlines. Schedule performance index, SPI measures schedule efficiency, SPI equals F/PV. Schedule variance, SV compares planned vs. actual schedule. Scope baseline, documents measuring project deliverable accuracy. Scope creep, unapproved, undocumented scope changes. Scope validation, formal inspection of project deliverables. Scoring models, value-based project selection models. Screening system, filters unqualified vendors. Scrum, agile method for rapid value delivery. Scrum Master, facilitates Scrum, removes roadblocks. Scrum of Scrums, coordination meeting among multiple Scrum teams. Scrum Team, Product Owner, Scrum Master, Developers. Secondary risks, risks arising from risk responses. Self-awareness, understanding your emotional impact. Self-management, self-control and situational adaptability. Seller rating systems, vendor performance tracking. Sender, message originator. Sender-receiver models, describes communication flow and barriers. Sensitivity analysis, assesses individual risks project impact. Servant leadership, leader focused on serving team. 7 basic quality tools, tools for quality planning and control. Shared understanding, XP approach rules, 4 key concepts. Sharing, spreads positive risk benefits within project. Shuha-RI, 3 stages of skill mastery. Single source, preferred but not exclusive vendor choice. Situational power, manager gains power due to circumstances. Smoothing, temporarily minimizes conflict size. Social awareness, understands others' emotional behavior and environment. Social skills, emotional intelligence for interpersonal interactions. Soft logic, flexible activity sequencing. Sole source, only one qualified vendor exists. Sprint, short, intensive Scrum activity cycle. Sprint backlog, task list for upcoming sprint. Sprint planning duration, varies with sprint length. Sprint planning meeting, sets sprint work and requirements. Sprint retrospective, post-sprint improvement meeting. Sprint retrospective duration, duration varies by sprint length. Sprint review, end of sprint demonstration meeting. Sprint review duration, varies by sprint length. Stakeholder, anyone affected by the project. Stakeholder analysis, quantifies stakeholders' wants and needs. Stakeholder classification models, grids to assess stakeholder influence. Stakeholder engagement, keeps stakeholders interested and supportive. Stakeholder engagement plan, strategy for stakeholder interaction. Stakeholder identification, early discovery of project stakeholders. Stakeholder management, focuses on stakeholder engagement processes. Stakeholder notifications, updates stakeholders on project status. Stakeholder register, documents stakeholder details. Start to finish, rare activity relationship type. Start to start, activity starts enable successor starts. Statistical sampling, random selection for quality check. Status review meeting, discusses project status and scope. Storming, team conflict and position establishment. Story point sizing, relative sizing of user stories. Strong matrix structure, project manager has more authority. Style, message formality, tone, and structure. Subnet, outsourced or repetitive work representation. Sub-projects, smaller projects within a parent project. Sunk costs, already invested money. Supportive stakeholder status, stakeholder supports the project. SWOT analysis, examines project's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. System metaphor, describes XP solution architecture. System/process flow charts, visualizes process flow in systems. Systems analysis, studies system components and relationships. Systems engineering, balances scope, time, and cost. Tacit knowledge, implicit knowledge from experience, hard to express. Team facilitator, leader guiding team in Agile, ensures rule compliance. Team space, dedicated open space for teams' face-to-face interaction. Technical debt, accumulated work due to skipped maintenance, needs refactoring. Technical, quality, performance risks, risks from new technologies, quality expectations. TechUp, risk checklist for technical, environmental, commercial, and political factors. Template, pre-existing project or form adapted for current use. Terms of reference, seller's obligations and specifics, like statement of work. 3 amigos, customers, developers, testers in acceptance test-driven development. 3 CS of user stories, card, conversation, confirmation describe user story. 3-point estimate, optimistic, likely, pessimistic estimates averaged for prediction. Time and materials contract, buyer pays time/materials, includes not to exceed clause. Time reporting system, records actual time spent on project tasks. TCPI, formula predicting project's likelihood to meet goals. Total float, time and activity can be delayed without affecting project. Transactional leadership, leader rewards/punishes based on goals. Transference, risk ownership shifted to another party, often contractual. Transformational leadership, leader motivates, empowers, and inspires team. Tree diagram, shows hierarchy of solution, organization, or project. Trend analysis, uses past data to predict future performance. Triple constraints, time, cost, and scope constraints affecting every project. T-shirt sizing, user stories sized like T-shirts for affinity estimating. Unanimity, group decision requires everyone's agreement. Unaware stakeholder status, stakeholder unaware of project's impact on them. User story, role, function, value formula in Scrum's product backlog. Value analysis, examines product functions vs. cost and features. Value engineering, balances quality, budget, and product performance. Value stream, lean principle to maximize value, eliminate waste. Variability risks, risks from possible project variations like weather. Variable costs, costs changing based on project conditions. Variance, difference between expected and actual results. Variance at completion, predicts final project variance based on current conditions. Velocity, story points team can complete in a sprint. Virtual structure, network-based communication structure with department points. Vision statement, goals and purpose of project, keeps focus. Visual signal, Kanban work items visually show workflow status. Vroom's expectancy theory, behavior driven by expected rewards. VUCA, examines volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. WBS dictionary, document detailing elements within work breakdown structure. WBS template, pre-made WBS for similar projects. Weak matrix structure, functional managers hold more power than project managers. Weekly cycle, XP project iteration to complete backlog items. Weighting system, objective scoring to choose best contract seller. Withdrawal, conflict resolution by walking away from problem. Work breakdown structure, hierarchical decomposition of project scope. Work package, smallest unit in work breakdown structure. Work performance data, raw observations and measurements for project. Work performance information, process data for project decision making. Work performance reports, formatted updates on project status. Work in progress, limited workflow items to avoid bottlenecks. XP coach, guides team in XP approach, ensures progress. XP customer, writes user stories, prioritizes, clarifies value. XP doomsayer, monitors and communicates project risks and issues. XP gold owner, person funding the project, often the sponsor. XP manager, oversees project, schedules, often serves multiple roles. XP programmer, codes and unit tests to meet customer requirements. XP tester, conducts and documents functional tests on code. XP tracker, monitors assignments, reports on project progress.